What did you say?
I said, Bossy Penny. I've called you worse. Don't worry about it. Are you recording?
I'm working on that, yep.
Okay. Please tell me I'm not insulting you on record.
No, you're just, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, ladies, can I have your attention for a minute? If you need to get another cup of coffee or a drink or a snack or something before Peg gets started, now's the time to do that. But I'm supposed to introduce Miss Peggy, okay? I'm not really sure how to do that. Peggy and her husband run the Promise Mission in Marion. Peggy has a heart bigger than the world, okay? Peggy is sick, but she's dealing with bronchitis, but she's too busy taking care of other people to worry about taking care of herself most of the time. If you know Peggy, you love Peggy. I have worked with Peg for 10 years, 11 years, however long the Promise has been around. We've done some interesting projects together, but Peggy doesn't know how to say no. You need it, Peg's going to find it for you. If she doesn't have it, she's going to find a connection. She's going to do something. The people that are hardest to love, Peg loves the most. She's just... And for those of you who don't know, Denise Maragni and Maggie Maragni, that's her daughter-in-law and her granddaughter. So we all love Denise and Maddie and Aaron. Aaron's been gone for a few years, but some of you remember Aaron from when he was here. He does. He comes and visits. But anyway, this is Peg Maragni. Like I said, she and her husband Dave run the Promise, and she is going to come and share with us. Peg is not feeling the greatest, so she's going to sit. If you can't see this chair and you want to move to get more comfortable, please feel free. But we told her we're very informal. We just want to hear what she has to share. So, okay, Peg, it's all yours.
Okay. We set her up a desk because she said she feels more comfortable behind a desk. So.
Well, I wish I would have brought my own. Because I can talk behind my own. I need to get tissue. I'm very informal, people. Just bear with me. Can I just, one question I want to ask, because I don't want to just be up here going blah, 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 blah. I want to know what you want to know. I want to share a little bit about what we do, but then I really, really want you to share also with me. I'm going to be honest with all of you. I'm going through a dry spell right now, and I'm hurting. And you know, you become so weak when you're in this part of this mission we're doing. And I'm not the type that loses it, but I lost it last night. I don't know. I haven't cried tears. I don't know when. And I'm thinking, Lord, why are we doing this right now? This group. But can't do this without people. Can't do this without the Lord. And I know change is coming to what we're doing. My husband's getting to retire, and I know that I'm going to be able to be more free, so he can come in and do the mission. But this is something that I've done for 12 years, and so everything just hit me. And I sat at my desk and I lost it. I just lost it. And I'm talking about, I just cried so deep. But it was awesome to feel the hands of the people outside coming to pray for me. They don't even know how to pray, but they came and just laid their hands there. You know, and I felt somebody right here. Now this guy I kicked out, I don't know how many times, he just causes problems. And you know, he's not supposed to be there, and it's like, Lord, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. Well, guess who's standing next to me, laying his hands on me while they were praying for me? In fact, I went like this. Then I looked up, and I just thought, okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But he loves me. But he ain't allowed on the property. But I was just... My daughter says, Mom, you were so out of it to let him come in. I said, Rachel, I said, the point. I just can't think. But anyway, it's not about me. It's not about me. Guys, Dave and I We've been pastoring for over 30-something years. 15 years, we were youth pastors, and she was one of our girls.
Thank you, Lord.
And, but when my husband, we were outreach. We're not the type that sits behind building. So we took these kids everywhere. And, but anyway, you know, out of a lot of things happen, and boy, God pulled the rug right out from under us from the church. To we're standing, it's like, what's going on? Because our church was our occupation also. What's going on? But see, the Lord with Dave and I, he pulls the rug fast, because if we sit and think about something, we're dead. And but when I look back and think where we're at now, you know, how that little trip is down that street. If you don't take the right road, you're going to miss what God's given you. And to come and look at what God's doing in Marion, Illinois, at a little building across the street from Fred's Stevenson's. And the building was given to us. Everything in that building was given to us. We have no money. God provides everything. And it is, when we started this, I didn't realize in my whole life it would be me. My husband's a pastor. He's the one that can talk. You know, he's a spiritual one. But it didn't happen that way. Dave had to work before us. But when we started that place there, Dave and I, it took us a while to figure out what days are we going to be open, what is our times going to be. Well, at that point, you know, 10 to 4, okay? And again, here I am by myself. But these people are just like my dad was an alcoholic. You know, so it's just like I was with my family. I just never felt no fear. You know, I didn't even really know why God's got me here, because I'm thinking, where's Dave? You know, and but anyway, I remember there was one I think it's Aldersgate. Their youth had brought 2 or 3 picnic tables for us that they built, and my truck was right in front of it. There was a girl laying there, and I knew her from West Frankfort. Now, I don't know how to do all that, you know. I just don't know how to do it. So anyway, well, I pulled up and I'm like, Lord, what do I do? And I swear that I heard him as I'm talking to you. It's 4 o'clock. It's time for you to go home. And guys, I want you to listen to me. I have never in this 12 years looked back at the Promise Mission. It's not mine. Because I can't do that. And I have never, ever, ever. When we go home, we go home. When we go somewhere, we don't. It's not ours. He's just letting Dave and I do it. But anyway, but you know, we've been through a lot of people, and I think at this point right now is probably the most homeless, hurting. People are scared of them, you know, and they have no hope. They have nothing. And then as Christians, you know, when we turn our back on them, that's not good, you know. And so I said, Lord, what do you want me to do here? What do you want? And guys, I hated my dad so bad because he was an alcoholic. And all my life, I just wanted him to say, I love you, and give me a hug. That never happened. Never, ever, ever. And, but when I sat there at that promise, I heard the Lord say, hug him and tell him you love him. And I never stopped. I don't have a lot of things to say, but like, I'll love you, I'll hug you, I'll give you something to eat, you know? And, you know, people will come and go, I don't know how you do this. And one thing with me is like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Really, all I do is sit behind this desk all day long, watch the cameras, watch all this stuff. And because it's not mine. It's like we're vessels, and he put Dave and I here. And, well, he put me there. And, but anyway, guys, I'm just at a point where I know change is coming, and I guess I'm to share this with you guys, because I lost it yesterday at the Promise, where I cried tears. It was so hard and so heavy that I have not cried probably in 12 years. That I wanted to give everything up. And I knew it's time to take that wand and pass it to my husband. It's his time to run it. Because, see, he's retiring. So it's like, I give it to you, David. You do what you want to do. It's been his heart's desire for everything. Okay? But there was a reason. And, I said, David, I'm tired. He goes, I can see that. But I said, David, I'm able to hand you that wand because I know I can't do it no more. I'm not saying I can't do it no more. I'm just saying I just need me and the Lord. I need to stay home for a few days or something. But, but I know it's the Lord. I know he's got big plans. I mean, we deal with people that nobody want to deal with. There was a few years ago, there was me and another guy, and we had to go to the Chamber of Commerce, and they handed us this award. We were the servants of Marion, just me and this guy here. And I'm not kidding you. I thought I was going to die walking out there because it's like, this is not who I am, Lord. This is not who I am. But I couldn't get over. There's 600 people there. I couldn't get over. Probably 3/4 of them didn't even know what the promise was or it existed. It's sitting right out there on Main Street. But you know what? If you ain't looking for it. But after all that, I remember getting up, because I'm not a speaker, I remember getting up and I just told these people, I said, listen, which my husband shared about everything. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not here for money. But I have people that are freezing right now. We need coats, we need sock hats, we need gloves. And after it's even over, it was like, nobody talked to you. It was like, what just happened here, Lord? Why are we even here? I don't understand this stuff. But anyway, people did start. But then I realized people want to help, they're just scared to come. They will donate a check, they'll do all this stuff. But they're just scared. They're just scared of these people. But these people are people too, And you want to look at them and go, well, they're adults, they're this and that. They don't have nobody. They don't have nobody. But it's not my job. It's like the Lord, has put in, there's a lady that comes now, if they need Social Security card or whatever. It's just like, where'd you come from? Just like she fell from the sky. But she's there every Friday to help them.
That's good.
And telling them, I can help you. But see, they think they can't get help because their lives are so messed up. My best workers are the people off the streets because they don't question nothing. They're the best one. And I let them do it. So me going through this, it's like, well, Lord, what are you doing with me? These are my people. But these people that I have that help me are strong enough. They don't need me. I'm not needing that. I'm just trying to say this, I will never leave the promise. But I just know it's my husband's turn, And, but two, I want you guys to be able to ask me any questions because I don't want to ramble. I don't want to just sit here and talk about me. And because, you people need to know what's going on. And it's all okay. Everything's okay. I'm not asking, just like Amy cooks. What's Amy cooking? I got to call her, when I look back, we've been there 12 years. When I look back, I'm thinking, Lord, where in the world did the lunches come from? And now, 5 days a week, there's a different person cooking for us or buying us pizzas. It's just like, where did it come from? But it's been going on for 12 years. And, and it's just something like say with Amy. How did the Lord put that on your heart? How did you even know who we were? How did you know who we were? And, but it's amazing to watch this. I had a lady call me yesterday, or was it yesterday? Was it yesterday, Friday? Yeah. Well, she didn't get her pizza order because she ordered pizza. Okay. She's calling me. They won't answer the phone. They won't answer the phone. I said, it's okay. She goes, no, it's not. She said, I always order pizza. I said, honey, it's okay. I said, I think we can find something. Nope. She said, I'm going to make my husband go drive over there. But I guess the water, all the rain that day, just, whatever. But she was so happy she got those pizzas to us. But it's amazing how that's important to her. That's important to you. Because, you know, with the mission, that's the biggest mission there is somebody helping with food. You know, it's like we give food boxes away. Where did that even come from? But years ago, Altar's Gate came in. They took that pantry. They put in the best of racks you can put in. You know, and the funny thing with that was the girl that, I mean, I'm new to all these people. And she kept sitting there. I said, what's wrong? She goes, well, I'm waiting for it to fill up. I said, it wasn't your job to fill it. Your job was you built it. You're free. Because I thought to myself, I don't know where that food's going to come from. But I guess she thought that maybe her church was just going to load it down with food. But I said, you've done your part, honey. Go on. You've done your part. Okay? But anyway, guys, I tell you what, the Lord, He brings in food to us. It's just like, I had 50 pounds of chicken dropped off. You know, I've had 2 diesels that's pulled up. One had Philadelphia, some kind of meat, and one had 250 gallons of milk. I mean, you know, it's just like, I don't turn down nothing. We'll get it out. We'll get it out there. And, but there's times I start crying and laughing. I said, Lord, what is it called? The thing's full. The what? What is it? Oh, like the storage room is full. Oh, what is it? Anyway, it's full. Lord, it's full.
The coffer?
The quiver.
The quiver. Okay.
The quiver is full. Okay. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it. And it's like, okay, Lord, the quiver is full. Then, guys, now let's get rid of it. Because I really believe the Lord said you will give, and it shall be received, whether it's money, food, whatever, which I don't worry about none of it. But I went back one time, and you know, all the shelves were empty. And I was sitting there, we have deep freezers. I mean, we have everything. And I remember sitting up against the freezer, and I just was talking to the Lord. I said, Lord, what's going on? He goes, why don't you look behind you? I opened up that freezer. It was full of meat. I screamed at everybody, God, that's me out of my freezer. God ain't going to bless us till we empty it. But, you know, that's my excitement to see God blessing it and how He's going to do it next. I mean it. It's like, you know, we got John Hill from Benny's. He goes, are you ready for me? I'm like, oh, he's going to make us Italian beef. No, he cleaned out his freezer. No, we got all the, you know, we got meat. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, there's no negative to none of it. God's been gracious. Do we have problems with people? That's just fine. Cops, they do the best they can. And, but I love them. I love them. I love them very much. And I praise God that He's allowed me to be part of that. And this is the time I've ever spoken about the promise, so I don't know what I'm doing. I want you guys to feel free to ask me questions, okay? And
what are your greatest needs?
Huh?
What are your greatest needs?
Our greatest need is non-perishable foods, because we make food boxes up. That is one of the biggest needs that we have.
So like single serve, not cans?
No cans, pop-top cans, anything, yeah, anything. What we do is when a homeless comes in, we will let them pick and choose what they want because of, you know, what their need is in that area. So, you know, like your spaghettis, your raviolis, stuff like that is amazing. And, but that's always a need. That's always a need.
Because I've always been curious of how can they prepare their food? Do they have means to do that?
Well,
do they have means to heat it at all?
Well, that's, you know, that's why we let them go back.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, like your cans, they eat right out of those cans. But, you know, that's why it's like, okay, let's have you go back here, you know, and because I can't do all that. I just, you know, one thing that Dave and I, let me say this in the right way. We didn't want to be a kitchen because where we're at, we are our own people, okay? We're nonprofit, so we don't have to go, this has to be perfect. You understand what I'm saying? So it's always been whatever God brings in, we give it out. And anything else? Now, yes, first you got to ask the second one.
When your seasons change, what are your needs?
When
as far as Seasonal needs?
Like goats.
Yes,
Like
like
the
right now, we're going to be starting collecting spring and, you know, summer stuff. Yeah, honey, we get so much clothes, and you know what the thing is? They're the best. They're the best. And I mean, it's amazing. You know, we got a clothes closet. We have a picnic area that we also have a clothing rack that we stick on there. You know, so we always allow people, we let them go back, pick what they need. And, you know, we're always needing blankets. And, but right now it's seasonal because we'll be shifting over. And I was sharing with them, I said, you know, Cornerstone, there's so many different parts of the churches that are helping. And it's funny how it's just a little part, but a big part. You know, it's like, you know, like Aldersgate, I mean, Cornerstone, we give them all of our clothes to renew. Because this is good stuff. I won't throw nothing away. But we've got what we need, and there's more coming. So we've been giving them. Well, then now they get us a flat of water whenever I need it. And if all I got to do is call, here's that flat of water. And, you know, and it's just, again, like that, it's just something how that works out, you know. And, you know, somebody's like, well, the other day, I was sitting there, I got my light bill. I just look at it, and it was a lot. This lady was sitting with me, and on Thursday we have an older couple who, like Amy, they love to cook, and it's gonna be good. And they had cooked spaghetti, and I put that plate in front of me. I got this lady here visiting me. I remember taking a couple bites of it, but as I was sitting there, and these people would walk in and they'd lay a check on the table. What's going on? There was 4 of them. There's 4 people. And I'm like, what is this? You know, I've never had people actually come in and set it down. And then there was 2 envelopes with a lot of cash in. I'm like, what's going on? I mean, I'm blessed, but normally I go to my P.O. box and people mail. And so I just like, what is going on here? And that lady goes, how much was your light bill? I said, it was almost 6. She goes, I think you already got it. Because she watched that, and I thought, Lord, thank you. But you know, sometimes I want everything that happens to us, I want it to benefit the people that they see. There's people out there that will help. And I mean, constantly, my door's open, somebody's dropping off food. There might be a truckload, there might be a van load, they're dropping off food. And those guys will run out, pick it up, take it. And anything else, because I can ram.
Were you raised in church, or you found faith?
No, I tell you what, honey, I moved across the street from my husband when I was 13 years old. I met him when I was 14. Now, he's a pastor's kid. And, you know, we dated all through high school. Like I said, I hated my dad. I don't know how my mom done it, but there's 9 of us kids. And, of course, our goal was graduate, went into the service, got married. Okay, so we traveled with, you know, wherever we was at. And, but, you know, we really never lived for the Lord. Honey, I didn't even know who Jesus was. I mean, the inside, come live in me. I never knew what that was. Nobody told me what that was. And, but I knew there was something that was supposed to be there. But long story, you know, was in the service, had John, and, you know, we had fun, you know, kids, we're just teenagers. And, but when we came back to live, you know, we came back, it's still, you know, Dave's dad was a pastor. Of course we had to go to church. Like Dave said, we'd need $20 from him the next day, so we're going to church. I mean, that's just, you know. You know, so I didn't even know Dave felt that way till he shared it with somebody. Well, then, you know, we went from, you know, of course, you know, the charismatic movement, and, you know, going through all that, and which I think during that time, it's like God wants you to feel everything, and then now back up, now you need me to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, I wouldn't take back anything we hadn't went through, but, you know, it was hard. And now my husband, he's working in the coal mines, and my mom had called me, and she said, Peg, she says, they shut the mine down. Dave wasn't home yet. I go, Mom. She goes, Peggy, they shut it down. I was like, what? I mean, you just can't think. It's like we have a big, beautiful home. I got 3 kids, and the mine shut down. You know, it's just, I mean, we've been through so much, Dave, but it's like, but we made it. We made it. You know, we had a friend of ours, had a check in her mailbox, and it said, half of it goes to bills, but half of it goes to you. Because me and her was pregnant at the same time. And she was she was married to a professional ball player. And it was just like, God never stopped. He don't stop. But I didn't know him. I mean, I didn't know him. I think I've got to know him probably in the past 15 years than I ever have through my whole life with Jesus. But he's as real as ever. He loves us. He loves every little thing we do. And, you know, I've always been this like, here I am. I don't know more because I'm scared of what I'm going to have to do. But I wouldn't even know that he would pick this to what Dave and I will, till we die, be doing for the Lord. I never in a million years. I bet in those 12 years we probably have went through 500 homeless people. And then you look out and you're like, got a whole new bunch. Where did the other ones go? But it's just, that's how the Lord works. He just shifts it through. But most of it is training us, you know. I mean, like I said, I think I was good because I wanted to be loved by my dad, you know. And so I can love anybody I want here. I'm not a money giver, and they know it. But there's times like our tithe, I will get it all in $5 bills. And on Fridays, I'll just whatever. You've earned it. And but this yesterday with me, guys, it really has shaken me up a little bit. And you know, I'm not trying to figure out what's going to happen. I'm not going to try to figure it out because I know where we're at. And I want to tell you something. I want to tell you one more little story that happened to us in a matter of 2 hours. The guy gave us this building. It was our building. And what he did with us is, for tax purposes, he made us, not made us, we all agreed this, we signed like a contract for deed. So in other words, as long as the promise is called the promise, it's ours. But now down the line, say my kids don't want it, no nothing, and it's not the promise, well, he takes the building back, which, fine, okay? So anyway, but one day, he shows up and he's selling the building. This happened in 4 hours. The guy that owned Stevenson wanted our building. He wanted to put a coffee shop here. And I'm like, Dave, did you know this? He goes, no, Peg. No. So that man walked in, which is a good friend of ours. I grabbed him, and I don't even know what I said, but what I said, what are you doing? I said, you're throwing homeless people for a coffee shop. What are you doing? But you know what? He had blinders on. All he can see is, I'm going to get $200,000 or $300,000 out of this building. And we'll give you a little bit. But I tell you what, in that matter of 2 hours, whatever was happening, again, rug pulled out from under us. In 1 second, it's going to be gone. But then you know how the Lord comes in on that last second? He came in. That last second. And you know, we look back, it's like, what in the world just happened? Well, he's money hungry. But it wasn't his to give. So that was a hard one for this past year. That was a very hard thing. Because we didn't know what was going to happen, and nobody there knows what's going to happen, you know. But see, the thing is, guys, hang on to the Lord, because he's got it planned no matter what. And I was just telling her, I said, you know what? Young people, don't wait till you're older. Do it now. You know, even though all these, me and Dave, we pastored, all these things we done, do it now. Don't wait till, I look like at the Promise Mission. Guys, say if he's choosing you to do something, but he's got to go through that whole table right there. He's got to deal with her. He's got to deal with her to deal with you. So there's always all this other spiritual stuff over here, But Jesus takes care of all that spiritual stuff. But it's hard to lay it down and go, I trust you. I trust you. Because there is nothing in the power of Dave Maragni that would ever been able to have this building, this beautiful building, that everybody's come together and put it all together, that has church every Sunday morning, and we feed and clothe people. Who in the world would ever imagine this is what Dave and I do? Not me. Not me. Because we had the fancy churches. Yeah, we had, yeah. But you know what? It all fell apart. When God's not in something, it falls apart. I would have never thought in a million years our church would, it was like a bomb dropped and it blew up and everybody went, it's all gone now. It's like, what in the world happened? Because it's gone now. But I praise God, and I'm trying to share with you guys, if it's with you now, you start now. Even if you don't even know what you're doing. You got to start somewhere. But the main thing is, you got to love Jesus. And you got to love him with everything that is in you, because he is the answer to every bit. Amy, I'm sorry I'm staring at you, but you've been such a big, she's my prayer warrior, and you come and cook. But you've been there for us. You've been there for us, Pat, whatever, you all been there for us. But all these little things all come together, guys, and they make that whole round table right there. But don't think it's like say the Promise Mission. If I got $5, I'm rejoicing. I am, because those $5 add up. I'm rejoicing. I'm rejoicing more because it's like, God, you're so real. You love me so much. You're providing everything, and my husband ain't even worth it. I can't do nothing without that. But it's like 12 years.
Tell that part, Peg, about how God had called Dave to ministry, and then he called you to the promise, and how you felt about that.
Well, I'm going to go way back. Everybody remember when the Marion Motel was here?
Yeah.
You all aware of that place?
That's where you were first.
A place that you pass 50 times a day, me and Dave. Well, again, my husband is outreach. And he met somebody that lived at the Marion Motel. Okay? So anyway, he'd go there every Sunday. They have Bible school, whatever, they have Bible study. I never went back there. Didn't even know there was anything back there, to tell you the truth. So anyway, Dave said, Peg, I want to see if the owner let us bring our horses. We have horses. Okay, well, we did. You wouldn't believe the kids came out of that place. And it's like, what is going on here? What is going on? And long story. Now, bad stuff went on there. Bad stuff. But there's a house that was in the middle of this place, and the owner had made it into 3 apartments, and there was 2 carports. And so the owner, which now was a grace of God, because he would never, I ain't even gonna get that. But anyway, he said, Dave, somebody, just cover in that front driveway. They built me a log cabin. My church came together. I have a log cabin with a porch right there in the middle of the room. Right in the middle of the motel. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know these people, and I'm terrified. And I remember sitting there, because Dave has to work. I remember sitting there, and right across was this motel room. The front door was open, and the back door was open, and a lady sat on the bed. Well, how stupid, Peg. You already known what was going on. Not me. What's going on? What's going on? Long story, the Lord took that thing, and he totally changed me. But you know what? There was about 20 kids, and we were there for those kids at that moment. Okay, now, we had a, not going to mention names, but Dave had an uncle, and he took pictures for the newspaper and stuff. So I'm sitting at home. Well, no, first of all, this person called and wanted to know if he could put this in Marion paper. Now this here, you know, in over a year's time, you know, he had took pictures of like when we started building it, you know, all the little, you know, all the stuff that was going on. And so now, so he called, and so Dave come in, he goes, Peggy, he says, so-and-so wants to put that in the paper. I said, no, David, that ain't who we are. No, not doing it. And that there don't involve just us. Well, about 2 months later, I get a call from that owner of that motel. I never knew that were that many words that went with the F word. I am. I called my son John. I said, bring me a newspaper. And he goes, Mom, there's nothing wrong. But the thing was, there was. This guy did it, and the main man over there said not do it, and he did it. But now we're the one that get blamed for it. But here goes God, takes that rope. So I'm sitting at home crying because I blew it. I'm the one working there. I blew it. Okay? It's my fault. Well, not knowing that God had a bigger building for us, because that was too little. And you know, Mary Morta is gone right now. But that was where the seed was planted for Dave and I. It was right there. And in fact, there's a lot of people that come, and they'll go, do you remember me at the motel? I go, no, I don't remember my name. And now, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, also you said Dave always did all the talking, and you are kind of you're a quiet person.
I lied, didn't I?
No, you didn't lie. But God has grown you in a different way.
You know, you don't feel like you're worthy. Okay? She was telling me some stuff at one point. You know, and I never, ever felt like I was worthy. My husband was worthy. I wasn't. I never, you know, and I never fought it with people. It was just like, I'm there. You know, we were youth pastors for 15 years. I'm the one that done all the, you know, inside stuff, you know. But I was never taught I had to do something. Nobody told, I mean, I'm just a pastor's wife. That's it. You know, you go with the flow of it. And I didn't know nothing. But you know what? After a while, watching my husband become full-time pastor, and I mean, he took care of over 1,000 people every day. And, you know, I didn't have a husband. I just had a man that came home wore out every day. So I'd be mad at him. I'd be mad at God. Never said a word, though, because I never wanted Dave to hurt knowing I feel this way. Plus, it's your occupation. What are you going to do? I mean, all that stuff, But we got, you know, we realized we were there for many, many years. And, but when I look back and see that where we were and where we're here now, and I'm the one doing it, it does blow me away. But I love these people. I love everything that God gives us here. Just like today, I won't even go down that road because I don't want to look and see who needs me. It's my day off, and I'll go all the way around, all the way around. Anybody got anything else?
Well, something you didn't share when you guys were at the Marion Motel, you guys started doing lunches. You asked for sack lunches.
Yes. I mean,
you posted on Facebook that you said, how did we ever find out? Denise shared your post on Facebook.
There you go.
And that's where I saw it, was that you were looking for sack lunches.
Yeah.
And I do daycare, and I was babysitting at that time for the most spoiled, rotten group of kids I ever heard of. Nothing was good enough for lunch. Everything was, they were so picky. And I decided to make the promise basically a mission lesson, just a reality check for them.
Yes.
So we started as a group packing lunches for the kids, and whatever the kids at the Marion Motel had for lunch that day, my daycare kids had the same sack lunch.
Something?
And they're like, man, you mean, I said, and you know what? These kids are very happy to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a cookie.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big deal. They don't, you know, nobody cooks them chicken nuggets and makes them Kraft mac and cheese or whatever it is you guys think you need to have all the time. You know, and some of them never heard of homeless people. They didn't know that there were hungry kids out there. You know, You know, 12 years later, I still have little daycare kids. What are you feeding those hungry people today? You know, so we use it as a lesson. There are people out there who don't, you know, they don't have a refrigerator full of food. They don't.
See, right here shows you the
want.
Promise Mission is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
From that beginning there, it's everywhere. There's so many people that's involved that don't even know they're involved.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and you talked about people being scared. People drop things off at my house to be delivered to the Promise because they don't want to go to the Promise.
Yeah.
You know, I think in some cases they don't want to get involved because they'll get too deeply involved or something. But sometimes it's just, you know, I've had people, I don't really want to go up there.
Well, I remember when Dave went to
Nobody
Africa,
up there's
I
ever
was
hurt
terrified
anybody.
he was going to call me and say, sell everything. Cause, you know, because, I mean, I was like, oh my God, we can't move to Africa. Praise God, it never happened. I'm in Vietnam over there. So.
Peggy,
Yes, ma'am.
I hear a lot of your conversation, and I was raised with an alcoholic father, and I understand that. And I see how God had you do it, maybe instead of your husband right now, because 2 Corinthians says what you have went through, and God has comforted you. You are to comfort others, and I can see how that's all worked for God's plan.
Oh, yes, it has, honey.
Because you have the capacity to love the unlovable,
yes,
are the ones that are hurting so bad. You understand that inside, and you know what God has done for you, and that's why you do it for others. You know,
yesterday for me was a bad day. I have bats that are right behind me. I have one nerf one, but 2 hard bats. But this one guy...
You mean a baseball bat?
Baseball.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant like Batman.
I'm talking about a bat.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about this. But anyway, well, you know, somebody bless us. I have cameras everywhere now. And I'm even looking at them going, where'd they come from? Well, anyway, the one boy I told you, the guy that was next to me, okay? But before that, I looked up and I saw him and this other guy getting ready to start a fight. Honey, I'm not trying to be something. I just automatically pick up my bat. It's just what Peg does. And in fact, I was so mad, I turned around. There's like 4 men sitting on the couch. I said, I took that bat. I said, do you say that? I can't do this by myself, because I knew who the 2 people were fighting. They just stared at me. I said, get up. So I go out. Now, we had this big pew that was Dave's dad that sits outside. These 2 guys are like this. I took, well, I yelled, it didn't hurt. I took that bat and I hit the pew. They both stood there. I said, out, and I mean out now. I said, you're gone. Go. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
Come back in, put the gun back in the holster back here.
The bat.
My bat. You know, but I'm not trying to say I'm somebody, but I got to deal with it. And I had a guy that hit a woman, and that was it for me. And the bat come out, and I'm not kidding you because I had it on camera. I ran out there, and I have like a picnic area, and I had this big pod, we store stuff. Well, they hadn't moved around to the back of that pod. And here I come with the bat, and that guy looked at me, he goes, I'm really sorry, Peg. I bet you are. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. No. He said, I'm sorry. I said, nobody hits a woman. Nobody. And I said, no, because I'm just like this, it's bad. He goes, he apologized to me. And I said, well, I think you both need to come in. I think we just need to sit down and talk. You know, and then, but sometimes I go home and go, what in the world did this happen today? That one guy, I couldn't get rid of him for nothing. He was not leaving this building. But he wasn't doing nothing wrong, but he has done stuff wrong. And I'm not, and I want to say this in a right manner, guys. The police, I want to say it in a right way. I'm going to say it the way Peg would say it. Okay, because, you know, most of the time I feel like there's nobody's helping me. I'm never scared. I have emergency button that's on my desk. But I don't know if it's just, it's like the other day we had something and they had to come right then. They were 30 minutes late and there could have been somebody really bad hurt. And all I can do is press a button. And I was like, I said, Rachel, they didn't even come. I just don't get it. And but I mean, I have cops that sit in the parking lot. I'm not going to say they don't help me, but when there's an incident like that, 30 minutes later you show up and there could have really been something bad. Yeah. But praise God there wasn't, And I think that's probably things I need you to pray about like that, because, when I need help. Now yesterday I pushed the buttons because it was like that guy, because it's like I came back in and they were right like this again. I just went on pushing buttons because I wasn't going to deal with it, because I'm gonna hurt somebody for a second, but they're gonna kill me. So yeah, I always say if I can get one good hit in, I'll be okay. But those people love me. They respect me. They take care of me, and they're my family. They're my family. But I would not ever know how to do it unless I had to go through what I went through.
That's right. God prepared you.
I would have never knew how to do it. Yeah. And but these people, they need to see the love of Jesus in us. Yeah. Because they don't believe in it. I never did either. I don't know. I don't know if I just thought Jesus is a magician, and you get this stuff when you want it. It's not the truth.
It's not the truth.
Never was taught how to read the Bible. I didn't know nothing. I know I got saved. I remember that day. And, of course, Dave's mom and dad, they wanted me to be saved. They were pastors, Dave. And, but I did. But after that, nobody helped me, so I didn't know there was help. I didn't know there was something. But, guys, when you're hungry for it, you go to somebody. But Jesus is he's in my bed every night with me. He never condemns me. He never tells me that I was bad that day. He loves me. And it's just a time of, yesterday, whatever happened with me, I cried. I feel better today. And because I thought, how in the world am I going to come up here and share? And which is something I don't do.
You don't,
you would know that, wouldn't you? That's only because you put me behind a desk. I was sitting there yesterday, and I thought, if I could take that desk to community.
Take it over here.
I was going to tell something funny about Denise, my Maragni kid. Maddie and Aaron always with me up there, always. And, but anyway, Denise comes in, she's always laughing too. Now, when you die, Peg, I want your phone. And she said, because you have nicknames for everyone. I got a diaper lady, you're the lunch lady. I have all these names on I have nicknames on this. But here one day when my kids were, and this is something new, this girl, drunk as a skunk, on my picnic table, this that long time. And now, on the inside of the promise was Denise, all my grandkids, all these, yeah. But they walked behind me scared to death of what I'm getting ready to do. Okay? So I go out. Well, I don't even know what I'm going to do when it happens, because I told this girl to get out. I said, there's a bus, get on it. Well, she wasn't going to do it. Well, I had to pull her out because she's so drunk. So I had to pull her out. And they're just sitting there looking at me. And I'm like, why didn't you help me? They said, well, they hadn't hurt you yet, Mom. Well, Denise wants my phone. Maddie over there going, But anyway.
Going to help them be a better servant. Because they've seen it.
I look at my kids and go, who's going to take the promise? Not me. Not me. I said, Maddie, you going to take it? No, I'm not taking it. No.
That might be interesting to watch.
It would be.
Who takes the reins.
Yeah. So. My daughter's terrified of everything. And what she does, she'll help them with jobs and stuff. And but when I got real sick, she was there a month without me. And it was meant to be. But see, now with Rachel, because, I mean, when there's fights, I got to go out. She goes, Mom, I can't do it. I said, you're not called to do it. I said, you're just called to be in this office and be whatever. And because it's like, Lord, which, you know, Dave's getting ready, you know, what it is, we're getting ready with retirement. You know, I need insurance. He's a veteran. So we're just trying to get all the rocks in a row, you know. And because I thought, Lord, I don't know if I can work with Dave. I just don't think I can. I'm not spiritual enough, blah, 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 you know, whatever. But anyway, now as of yesterday, I was like, take the one. Please take the one. I'm passing it and I don't want half of it. Yeah. But anyway, so that's, we're getting ready to do that. But Dave and I love to travel. And, but now always in Dave's back of his mind, it was like, well, we're going to shut it down. And I told my Rachel, I said, why does Dad always want to shut it down? Well, the thing was, it was just because he wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And he don't want nobody hurting me, which he knows I can hurt them. But anyway, things are really falling into place. And that's where I asked for prayer for us. And I'm excited. I would like to be home, cleaning my house, you know, some days. But, you know, we love our grandkids. We want to watch Maddie jump a hurdle. The girl jumps hurdles, people.
She's good at it.
Oh my God, I'm watching this. I go, David. And Maddie comes, she's madder than ever. She's 1 second off. But see, it's in their blood. Her and Aaron, they're athletes. That's all there is to it. And, but we got to go see Aaron. That was the most blessed thing. And he's playing with big boys now. He's playing with the big boys now. But I don't know. I always told him, I always believe that he's going to go professional one day. I just know it. But whatever God chooses. And I said, Aaron, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, you know. And so I heard him tell Papa, he goes, you know, the Cubs want me. I was like, can you imagine John Maragni rooting for a Cub? Oh my God. I hope I get to see this, people. Him and my husband, I hope, pray I get to see this. And Aaron's like, I could care less. But anyway, yeah, this is his senior year. It's scary because, you know, you think you got to be where you're at so these people see you play ball, but that ain't the case. But, yeah. Maddie and Aaron are unique people. They really are. So is John and Denise, you know.
Your kids aren't important once you have grandkids.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I got my first great-grand one, and he's already 4. And I'm like, I never get to see him hardly at all.
Yeah.
My grandkids, as you know, that's life, man. And I had 5 of them right there in a row. But they've all done well. Anybody else? You know, y'all can come see me and sit with me.
That's what I was going to say.
Come and sit with me.
I was feeling a little sad when you said it might not be you anymore. I was like,
No. I guess
She just won't be in charge.
I just want to. No, I'm just going to rest. I'm not getting away from anything. I just
your
need a
desk
rest.
is still there with your.
Yeah. Oh, honey,
So you'll still text me every Tuesday and ask.
You're right, honey. I have to. They're already on me on Monday. Call her.
Well, I'm going to suggest, why don't we some of us will turn our chairs around. We'll have Peg come sit over here, and we can have a time of prayer together. So we'll do that. I'll shut this off, and we'll all